Right. Final stop, I think, for our section of the broadcast is the Northwest. And this is where the IEC says, sadly, there have been disruptions in different parts of the province. Voting stations opened their doors this morning, but there have been some of the problems already registered. Police presence and visibility intensifying now. So let's get the latest for you with Refiloe Seboko, who joins us from the Results Operations Center in Mahikeng. This is a slightly unnerving and disappointing, Refiloe, to hear, because so far, you know, there have been some issues, but when we think about the police presence and that sort of thing intensifying, there's some real issues afoot. Tell us more.
Indeed, Iman, and also because do you remember that on Monday there was a joint press briefing that happened here in the Northwest Province with police saying that they are not intending to tolerate any sort of disruptions, and also making mention of the fact that there will be measures that will be put in place, particularly with issues of service delivery protests that we see happening around this time of elections. But let's speak to General Asaneng, who's going to speak to us. We heard General Asaneng that in Taung, in particular in Shing, there's an incident of disruptions that happen in there. Talk to us about that as some of the other incidents that you've noted in the province.
Yeah, it is true that Shing in the Dr. Ruth Sohomutsi Mompati has been our flashpoint. This did not only happen today, it started yesterday. As you are aware, the 27th and 28th were set aside for special votes. Yesterday, when in the morning we were informed that the gate to the Shing voting station was welded shut, and as the police we had to go there and break the lock to ensure that there is access. Fortunately, there were no registered special voters in Shing at the voting station, but there were house visits that had to be conducted. And in order to make sure that IEC officials were not disrupted, we had to provide them with escorts as they were doing house to house. Now, as you have also indicated this morning, when the voting station was about to open, a group of plus minus 30 individuals in that area decided to gather not far away from the voting station, starting to play loud music. You could see, even though they wanted to create the impression that their gathering was peaceful, we all know that this is some subtle intimidation. As a result, the police were informed and instructed to make sure that they tell them to disperse and to stop playing loud music, as it's in contravention of the law. Some of them wanted to resist, and the police were forced to use rubber rounds, and they have since confiscated their music system. We are continuing with investigation to really find out who are the ringleaders. As I have warned previously, that we are aware that people are trying to use legitimate concerns about lack of basic service to try and disrupt the elections. Some of them have openly, through social media platforms and in the mainstream media, said they will not be casting their votes.
Is it not disappointing for you as the police in the province, considering that there was an indication that you will be monitoring high-risk spots, hotspots in the province? Which other areas that are of concern and that are those hotspots in the province?
Yeah, we are not really disappointed. We are extremely happy with our preparations, because by being in that area, we believe that we proactively prevented the disruption of the opening of the voting station. And I can say that our presence there is to ensure that voting continues unhindered. And as I'm talking to you, the voting station is open and all is well. And that's why we will be there to make sure that it is not disrupted. But coming to the second part of your question, also in Dr. RSM this morning, we received a report of an electoral officer who was driving to one of the remote voting stations in Lona, who lost control of her vehicle. resulting in her sustaining minor injuries. What we can say is that through our preparation and the escort, the voting material was not in any jeopardy at all, and the voting station managed also to open on time. In the Rustenburg area, Mahikeng in particular, this morning also, we were informed about a group of individuals who were also publicly saying in the media that they are not going to be voting because of lack of basic service delivery. In the area, they then decided to, start what we viewed as a subtle attempt to try and disrupt voting by saying they are rather going to embark on a cleaning campaign in the close proximity of the voting station. We warned them, and fortunately they complied and left the area peacefully. Another incident that has been reported is of a theft of a temporary voting station where a tent was erected in Mahikeng. Proactively, we made sure, because this was not necessarily the police failure, there should have been a private security guarding the tent there, but we managed to, as quickly as possible, obtain a replacement tent, and as we are speaking, voting is continuing also there.
And now, as voting is continuing, how confident is the police in the Northwest Province that this is going to be free and fair elections at the end of it all?
We are very confident that it is going to be free and fair. We have also spoken to our communities to make them aware that liquor is not allowed in the proximity of the voting station. Dangerous weapons are not allowed, and therefore we are confident that our people will heed the call and understand that they cannot be used by self-serving individuals to disrupt voting. So far, we are happy with our preparations. We are happy with the cooperation that we are getting. As you are aware that also our community police forum, community structures are working with us, and they are giving us information of any potential flashpoint and anyone. We are also not leaving anything to chance by making sure that we are, in the areas that we believe there is that likelihood of, flashpoints erupting.
And General Asaning, as already that police visibility has been intensified, are these incidents that are happening forcing you as the police in the province to increase capacity in terms of deploying more police officials into these areas of concerns?
The deployments that we have already done, we believe they are sufficient. As I indicated, you must remember that this is a Prof joint operation. We have also members of the SANDF, we have members of traffic law enforcement, we have our police reservists. So we believe that now we will not come to a situation where we have to call for reinforcements, but we believe that we are going to be equal to the task with the cooperation, the assistance of our communities and other law enforcement agencies that are there.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, there you have it, Iman, some of the incidents of disruptions that the police have picked up here in the Northwest Province, in Bojanala, Mahikeng in particular, where a tent was stolen, Dr. Ruth Mompati, and that was of great concern in Shing, Daung this morning, where police were even forced to use rubber bullets to disperse those people that had gathered at that area this morning.
Well, great update on the work of the Prov Joint's operation as well. Refiloe, Seboko, thank you very much. We continue to watch that. She was live for us there from the Results Operations Center in Mahikeng.